Hi, everyone.
I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV channel and the live stream Q&A, where we attempt to answer all your questions about stained glass.
We do, Barb, and it's Monday night, March the 28th at 7 o'clock. We're right on schedule.
We are. And
we got some great things coming up tonight.
We do. And we're in the Conway Glass Studios right now, in the stained glass studios. And happy to be here.
Yeah. What a beautiful spring, what I call a spring day today, because it was only about 65. And I think, hold on a second. I think Barb needs a drink.
For some reason, I'm all choked up. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Y'all. I'm sorry.
But anyway, I think that little drink of iced tea did it for you, Barb.
I hope so. I hope it wasn't a Melanie. Oh, we look marvelous. Thank you, Mel.
Hey, good to see you.
Ed got a haircut and he looks great, right? We're happy to see everyone here. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. We also have a new way for you to submit questions ahead of time. You can go to conwayglass.com and go to the ARTyRV page right there.
That way you can ask the questions while they're fresh in your mind anytime during the week, and we'll get them.
And send it to us, and that comes right to my email. So that might make it easier. And then if you forget to pop in, or you can't, something comes up, you can't pop in, you can go back and watch the live stream, and we will answer your question whether you're here or not. So just make it easier for you to get your questions answered. So,
well, hey, I hope everybody.
Thank you, Mel.
Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the glue chip video.
Yeah, we finally got that out.
I think we got it out, and we had a few things going on with it, but we actually, check out the video and let us know what you think. Again, we apologize because, it's questions, answers, and apologies. So we apologize for taking 5.5, almost 6 months for that glue chipping process. But you know what? The chipping that came out of that process, we both love it. So good things come to people, those of us that wait, apparently.
So we'll be doing a little stained glass window with those glue chip pieces, and that'll come later. Hi, Deb and Christy. Hi, hey. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, so we'll be starting with some questions. We had a lot of questions on the glue chip, and one of the questions, two people asked, what kind of glue is it?
Well, it's actually an animal hide glue, and so it's kind of like almost like plastic chips that you see on TV that they make your glasses frames out of. And it has to be cooked in water, but it has to be cooked a very specific way. You can't just willy-nilly it. You have to actually use the directions, and you've really got to have like the perfect day almost to really cook the glue correctly.
So what is the glue?
The glue is actually made of animal hide.
Okay.
So it's an animal hide glue, and apparently when they tan the hides, they pull this substance off, I believe.
It's a byproduct.
It's a byproduct of tanning the hides.
Process. We sold out of glue, but it's back in stock. We replenished the stock. So if you're ready to start glue chipping, we do have it on. And then when you buy the glue chip, you've got all kinds of instructions in there. So
in the bag itself. So
extra instructions in there that'll take you through the whole process, along with the 4 videos.
And all you need is a junky pan. You need a junky spoon, and you need a what do you call a thermometer, right? A candy thermometer, because you cannot get this above like 140 degrees for any length of time at all. So
140 degrees for 1 hour. That was another question about the glue chip. But right now we have a question. What is this beautiful window behind us?
This window is a window that we have just completed a restoration on. Up in the top, you're all looking at that window. So in the top left-hand corner is a BB hole. And we were asked to restore the window, but leave that piece of glass with the BB hole in it. because when our customer got married in that church 65 years ago, that BB hole was there.
This window?
This window right here.
I can't even see.
There's a BB hole up in the left-hand corner.
Oh, okay.
So we were asked politely to keep that BB hole there, and we accommodated our customer. And when I called him to tell him it was ready, he said that thank you for helping him keep the memory alive. That's awesome. That means we did our job correctly. So it's a beautiful window built in the 1920s. And so we just refurbished it, cleaned it up, reglazed it, and added, we put in about 12 pieces of glass.
Hi, Ray. Thanks for the thumbs up. If y'all know Ray, he's here every week giving us a thumbs up and giving us support.
Attaboy.
I'm seeing something about Canfield Inland brand. I'm not sure what that question is about, but
solder, Canfield solder,
Inland. Sorry, it's not Canfield. It's Inland brand. I'm not sure what we're talking about there, but y'all talk as much as you want. I just want to make sure I don't miss any of the questions. Another question about the glue was, how long do you cook it at 140 degrees? And I think we answered.
You just answered that. 1 hour. And you know what? You really need to watch it. And that candy thermometer, y'all, just like making candy, is very important.
And then the other question was, will the humidity? Someone from Arizona said their humidity was 4%. So will the glue chip faster?
Probably not only will it chip faster, it's going to dry faster. And then when you can reach that 125 degrees, after the glue is completely dry, that chipping process should be quite rapid as well with that low humidity. So yeah, that's a good question.
Let us know. And y'all, when you're doing this, write everything down so that you can go back and do it again if it turns out great.
Yeah,
if it turns out wrong, then you.
Well, during the glue chipping video, I went by remembering what I remembered 25 years ago or 30 years ago cooking glue. This is a different glue. It's still an animal hide glue, but
it's safer.
It's safer.
What was in the other glue?
I'm not sure, but they used to use it to glue. It's a woodworker's glue. Animal hide glue is a woodworker's glue, and it's water impervious, which means it won't.
Yeah, I was just reading something about it's a little bit different than it used to.
Well, it doesn't smell like it used to. I noticed that when I was cooking. It does smell pretty bad, but it still doesn't smell like it used to.
Okay. If you are okay, let me put this up.
All right.
Thank you. This is from Mel. Hey, Mel. So I have an actual question. If you are using both lead and foil in a panel, my question is, will your putty also blacken the foil?
No, you'll have to patina. You'll have to, after you're done puttying your lead, you're going to have to clean the copper foil and then patina that. And then just clean everything all at one time, I believe. And
then just putty that area that has the lead. And you probably have to hand putty that and keep it away from the copper foil.
Yeah, I wouldn't pile it on. Yeah, I wouldn't lead the whole thing, Mel, with your putty. I would, around the edges where you've inserted your copper foil pieces, I would putty that with your hand or the side of your thumb. But then, then you clean your copper foil really well. Make sure you get the acid off of it by using baking soda and water. So that'll neutralize the acid. And then when you patina it, it'll turn as black as it's ever going to be at that very instant. So you should be just fine with it. And then once you polish your lead, you can polish your lead and bring your lead to that shade of darkness. Ooh, that doesn't sound very good. The shade of darkness.
That sounds like a
movie.
Book.
Shades of Darkness. Shades of Darkness.
We had another question come in this week.
Oh yeah, about our paints, y'all.
I'm trying to see the best.
You want me to
put it under that
switch under there, and I'll
let me put it
right
here.
How about that?
I think you can put it closer to.
So we're going to show you
stream. No.
There you go.
And then you're going to have to focus it.
Let me get underneath of it. There we go.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Okay. So these paints that we use are pronounced Rouge, and it is spelled Reusche. Now, this is a small little 1 ounce bottle. These are what we have, except for our tracing black. We have like a 6 ounce bottle. But so these are made by the Schilling Company. The Schilling Company, and the Schilling Company only sells large quantities of the paints, but your stained glass suppliers and wholesalers have access to all of this, and in the 1 ounce bottles. Let me tell you something. 1 ounce of powder enamel is an awful lot of powder. So, but anyway, that's a good question, and those paints are readily available throughout the country. Some people use different kind of paints. They use low fire paints. They go into your oven and all that. That's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these have been tried and true, and we know at 1,050 degrees, you can't scratch it off with your key, and that's what we want.
Okay. And, golly, let's see here. I forgot to put all right. Do I polish both the putty and patina after? Mel wants to know.
I would say, yeah, you probably could. I don't see why not, but you're not. Remember, Mel, you're not going to wax your lead, but your patina, so that keep it from oxidizing, you're definitely going to want to wax the copper foil areas to keep them from oxidizing so readily. The lead is going to oxidize to a gray, but it's not going to become pitted. And then you're going to have as long as you patina and wax your copper foil areas with the soft wax, then you'll find that won't oxidize quite as fast. It doesn't matter that it does oxidize, but the fact is, if you can prolong it a while by waxing it and polishing the lead's going to be whatever shade of darkness that you polish it to. So
we have Mel said she's never puttied before. We do have
our recipe.
We have 2 videos, a pretty recent video, I believe, on that. On the
glazing
I'm trying to think of what playlist it's in, but you should be able to do a search for glazing putty or something like that and see if you can find it that way, or I can repost it on the community page tomorrow, the best one, so you can get started and figure out the process, because it's pretty straightforward. And the putty recipe is
on the website.
It's on the website. It's on our website. Yes, it's on the website.
So when you're making the putty recipe, you just, however dark you want that lead to be, is how much black paint you're going to add to it, which is typically to a quart of glazing compound is only about 3 or 4 tablespoons. So
that's right.
It's not very much.
This is a very good question. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I'll attempt to. Arialo. And they say they just started lead light work for the very first time last weekend with great success.
Lead cane work, yes.
Yes. And what mistakes do you see beginners do, and what things did you wish you knew at the start of your glass journey?
Well, the biggest mistake that people do working with lead is that they don't cut their joints close enough, and they haven't figured out quite yet how to miter to make everything nice and tight. If your lead joints are tight against one another, your window has less flexibility, so that when you solder it, it's even more rigid when you flip it over. And the thing that I wish I would have known about lead before I started working with it was actually how easy it really was to work with once you got into the groove with it.
What mistakes do you see beginners do, and what things did you wish you knew at the start of your
Well,
glass
the mistakes
journey?
that the beginners do in the glass journey is, I think I see them make mistake before they can really cut glass really well. They attach themselves to a project that requires more skill than they have as far as glass cutting. So the thing I find is that people that are just starting out in this don't really practice enough and learn the properties of glass before they try to attach themselves to a panel or whatever.
I think we see that a lot, trying to skip ahead and skip over the glass cutting.
Glass
skill.
cutting is the most important part of this entire process.
It's the first thing you learn, and it's the most important part.
Right.
But that's with everything. You're anxious to get started, so sometimes you have to back up.
All the glass is cut
relearn.
differently, and just have fun. But the one thing that never changes is the amount of pressure you put on your glass cutter.
Okay.
That's the one thing that never changes.
I'm not sure what this is. This might not be the right show, but I am trying to extend the life of a regular wood frame kitchen window. Do you have any reglazing tips? Yes, we can answer some tips.
Well, is the wood rotten, or is it just you want the glazing is coming off around the window panes, and you want to reglaze that window, sand it, prime it, and repaint it? If that's the case, yeah, we can help you. Even if you have a little bit of rotten wood on the bottom sash or something, or maybe up a little bit, the best thing to do is to they make a putty that you can take the rotten wood out and putty it, sand it, and prime it, and it'll last quite a long time. So if you're just talking about glazing window panes, there's a way to do it. There's a right way and a wrong way. So let us know which way you're going, and we'll try to help you out, keep it the right way.
So they have, do we have any reglazing tips? The most important thing is remove that old putty that's fallen out. You can't just patch it. You've got to
take it all out.
Take it all out. Watch out for those push points that are in there.
Right. But then the other thing is keep in mind, is you need to, before you reglaze that wood, you need to brush linseed oil on the wood. Because the reason your glazing compound is falling out now is because the wood has pulled all of the oil out of the glazing compound, which takes about 20 years, maybe even longer, depending on how long you've let it go. But if you paint the wood, after you clean the old glazing out, paint the wood around the glass with linseed oil, and then putty your window, it'll last a lot longer.
And you use the glazing putty.
DAP 33.
DAP 33 meant
for wood sashes.
Wood sashes. And
so that's
a great thing to extend the life of those wooden windows. We've had a house full of them before, and
oh yeah,
they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful.
What we had a house had 42 of them in it, wasn't it, one?
Yes,
12 over 12. Woo.
Okay, Julie said the glazing is off, and is it best to use linseed oil? Yes, you put that on there before you put the glazing.
Yeah, so put it on there and let it soak in a little bit.
And that window will last another 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know why
rejuvenating
people
the wood,
them. Yeah. Karen's here. Hey, Karen, Mike P. And me, Mike P's here.
Good to see everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you.
So this is a beautiful night. I hope everybody's having a great evening, and the weather, y'all, is just impeccable today. So
if you have any questions or
Throw them at
comments
us.
for us, just put them in the comments. And let's see. I think it might be almost. Let's see. What do you think? Grace Edwards. Hi, Grace. How you doing? What is the best tool? That's right. Grace does stained glass, doesn't she?
Yep, she does.
What is the best tool to use to clean out the glazing? dental picks? What do you use, Ed, to clean out that glazing?
I get a small brass brush, but I also use an awl. I use an awl.
Yeah.
With a pretty sharp point on it. That way I can get up in those corners and even pull the broken pieces of glass out of that lead and get it in there and get it cleaned out. And then I take and brush it. That small wire brush and a very pointed awl is
now we're talking in relation to a leaded window or a wooden window.
Oh, a wooden window.
No, I think he was talking about
a lead window. Yeah, clean out the glazing.
Yeah.
Dental picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to get so close to the glass. But normally in a wooden window, you can normally run a razor knife right down the edge of the wood, and every bit of that glazing will pop right off. The other thing you can use, because it doesn't get hot enough to break the glass, is actually a hair dryer to remove old glazing. Mm-hmm. You get it warm, take the heat away, let it sit for a second, and you just scrape it right off.
Make sure to take it away because you don't want to catch your window on fire.
Well, and you don't want to. Yeah, a lot of times.
Don't use anything stronger than a hair dryer on trying to get that glazing.
You can use a heat gun, but you're going to break a lot of glass. But the hair dryer will pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah, hair dryer. And then Mike says he uses the wallpaper steamer.
There you go. Same. Yeah, it just comes right up. If you can get that glazing warmed up, and before you allow it to cool back down, it'll just come right off.
Yeah.
And that y'all is coming from hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of glazing trips to some old schools in the area to reglaze windows. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kat Jane said, learn to make a pattern so you can cut it. That's very important. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take those patterns and make them so that you can make them your own.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you don't want to, you can look at a book and say, oh boy, that hot air balloon is beautiful. So lay it in front of you, lay your pattern paper down, put it on a grid. First thing you do is, of course, break it up into 4 sections and start from your center line. And actually on a hot air balloon, you just draw half of it, and then you flip your paper over and you finish drawing the whole thing. And that way both sides are identical and it looks the way you want it to. And change it. Don't use what somebody else did. Change it. Make it your own.
Change it up.
Yeah,
make it
please
your own.
make it your own. Yeah, make it your own.
Mel said she saw something the other day about north-facing windows. What would I do differently and why? That's an interesting subject because we often find when we're going to estimate a job or come up with something for our customer, once we're on site and we see where the window's located, all that can change depending on the light.
Yep.
So yeah,
well, a north-facing window is a shading window, but a great source for natural light.
So,
but a south-facing window, gives you natural light for longer periods of time throughout the entire year.
So, which direction do our windows face?
In here?
Yeah.
Our stained glass room faces south.
The windows along the front face south?
South, yeah.
Yeah, the light there is great.
The light in the stained glass room is beautiful.
And then this window here
is due west, baby.
Yeah, we get a lot of light in here.
This window gets hot, and the back, because it's north, the back stays kind of shady and cool all the time. So
yeah. So
so know your directions, know where your light's coming from. Whoa,
Ed, what in the heck are you doing?
I'm sorry.
You
scared the bell out of me.
Scared us. You scared us.
I scared the bell out of myself.
Do that again, but now we're ready for it.
Okay. Don't forget to ring that bell, y'all.
Oh, and subscribe.
And subscribe to the ARTyRV channel. We appreciate it. Those of you that are laying back in the wings, we hope you're enjoying the show. It's a beautiful night here in South Carolina. Barb and I are having fun. She's looking good, and it's crazy
Well,
around here today. It's been a beautiful day. And guess what? I got cleared. I'm no longer in physical therapy.
yeah. So that's good. We're all happy about that.
I'm on my release program.
He's been released.
I've been released.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
I think it's time for glass chat.
I think so too.
So why don't you show us something?
Okay.
I'll put the camera up and you can
You
chat.
put the camera up and
Why don't you chat?
I'll chit chat and we'll look at my hands. And so tonight, everybody, I've got a really pretty piece of glass to show you. Now, I know for a fact that this glass has been around for a long time, simply because in one of the churches downtown here in our community, this is all in that, and those windows were put in the 20s. So I want to show you this. This is a Wismac glass, y'all. It's a W163. This glass is green and purple. And when you get it in the light, that purple turns pink. Now, most of the glasses you're going to see in a church of this 163 are actually have a white opal underlayment. So that this is a white wispy here. I mean, this is a 163 wispy. This glass, we just got it in because we're working on a restoration project that requires this in the bottom. So y'all want a beautiful glass to work with, do some sunsets. There's a lot can be done with this glass. Again, this is Wismac 163, and it's a beautiful glass. And if you can use it or pick it up at your stained glass supplier, you're really, really going to be impressed with its color and the way that it's made. And definitely, everybody, the way that this glass made by Wismac cuts. It's awesome.
And what do you use that for?
Well, I use this is usually in accent pieces within the stained glass window in churches. This is just a nice background glass in the sanctuary downtown. This is the background glass bar.
Okay.
So this is the background glass with the white in it on the background in 65 windows in the fellowship hall in the Methodist church downtown.
Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to show you all that. That's just a simple piece of glass that is so elegant. And now we're going to talk about, because I got some more questions again last week. Ray, I know you had the question about, why do you push one and pull another? And
yeah. Okay. Let's hold off on that just a second. I go right here, right now, because this is awesome.
Exciting news coming in.
Christy Cannon, exciting news to share. The coral reef panel was published in the Wilmington Magazine, March-April issue. Was the last time anything I've made in this has been in the magazine, and felt excited and proud.
Y'all,
this
big
was
hands.
The first time.
Way to go. Congratulations.
Way to go, Christy. Everybody give Christy.
Congratulations, Christy.
That is awesome, Christy. I'm so proud of you.
Well, we'll be picking up that magazine
chills.
when we come up, because we're going to Wilmington week after next to pick up a project. So that's good.
Yeah. So that is awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exciting. And now get ready, because everybody's going to want your work, Christy. Congratulations, huh?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay. We had another question come in. So we're going to go back to questions.
Oh, we're good. Yeah.
The demo, we're going to come up with the glass cutting demo in just a few minutes, but let's get back to our questions real quick, if that's okay, everybody, because I don't want to go, use up the time and not get all of our questions answered. Okay. So, is there a way to test glass to determine the COE?
Well, not to determine its coefficient of expansion.
But.
Right. But you can do a compatibility test. And as long as you got a kiln, you can do a compatibility test.
So if you know the COE of your glass, you the glass in question and the glass that you know the COE, you can cut a little piece of the questionable glass and put it on top of the one that you know the COE of.
So you're going to cut a strip of the one that you know a COE of, which may be 1 inch wide by 5 inches long. The glasses you're not sure of are going to fit. You'll cut little 1/2 inch squares of those. Lay them on that 5-inch strip, separated, put them in the kiln, fully fuse them, let them anneal, take them out, and you'll know if they don't fit because the crack will go directly around that 1/2 inch square.
Yeah, and so you can, the best way to do it is take your bullseye or whatever you're going to use as your base glass or whatever kind of glass you know.
Whatever your 90 is that you're using.
The clear. And then just put what you don't know if it fits and try it.
Right.
A lot of times you'll find that the clear glass of every different manufacturers will be compatible with their clears.
With their transparent colors.
With their transparents. But you have to do a test to find out which ones, because some of them, like you might have a problem with red, or you might have a problem, you always have a problem with white. So, try to stay in that clear.
Yellow's tough sometimes, yeah.
Manufacturer.
Yeah, that's
what I've found. But.
Yeah, you just don't. That's the problem with bringing different glasses into your studio, that you can't keep separated. So I know you might want to save some money by trying to do this test and hoping something's going to fit. But if you're going to use coefficiency 90 for a project, your other colors need to be coefficiency 90 as well. And then you eliminate all of the reinventing the wheel thing, because you don't have to do that. Just spend a little bit of money, get the colors you need. And I mean, sure, learning how to do a test pattern or a test bar is the way to go. But a lot of people don't have a kiln that'll go up to 1325 degrees. So you can't fully fuse a test bar to tell you what you're doing.
Right.
So,
and you could do a pull test, but that's not really relative if you're going to be doing.
If you're going to be fusing, you can't. Stringers, you can make fit anything if they're thin enough.
Okay, so we have some folks in here that have never been here before. I just want to say hello to Thomas.
Hi, welcome, Thomas.
He is from Chester, PA, and so hello and welcome to the ARTyRV. And then we have people that are back. Mark Mason is here. Vonnie is here from Ireland. She's going to catch us on the flip side
when she
tomorrow
wakes
morning.
Up,
when she
in the
wakes
morning.
up. Ray said that was awesome glass. Thank you, Ed. And Mary Haycraft, she said, thank you for the tips last week on the cutter. She said her cutter was filthy.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
you see what I mean? And some people may have, instead of taking that little trick, some people may have went and spent $32 on a new cutter head. You don't need to do that.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm glad it worked for you. That makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And it makes you feel better. You saved $32.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I think that we can do some a glass demo. Okay, what do you think?
Oh my, sure,
demo?
Barb. If you want to do
And,
that, we can do that.
I think we're ready now for the glass demo.
So I'm gonna.
And what we'll do is we'll just flip this camera over to over to you.
So I want to get just inside my little perimeters here underneath my camera. There we go.
I don't know how come it's not adding yet. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so y'all, I want you to see this, and you can see it.
Yeah.
See that texture? Let me show you the side. Ah, this is scary and makes you want to run. But you know what? We're not going to. I'm going to show you tonight. Remember, I keep telling you, it doesn't matter what's on this side. Your glass cutter should always sound the same. Now you see, we've got all these colors stacked up in here. We've got white, we've got amber, we've got green, we've got blue. But I want you to see, I'm going to press on this the same way that I do everything else. And I know I'm not going to hear it, not all the time. And I may or may not. But you don't have to hear it to break it, okay? You don't have to hear it. Let's do that one more time, okay? You ready? Here we go. Hear that? It's like, I got a flat tire. So here we go. Ready? Okay. Nobody heard it, but guess what it did? It broke. Okay. So I want you to understand. Let's set that out of the way. I want you to understand that even though the glass is super duper textured, don't be afraid of it, because it cuts just like all the other glasses. It just feels differently, and you have to work with it a little differently. So now we're going to move to another glass cutting demo, because I want to explain to everybody again, because we had a couple more questions, and I told Barb, don't even read them. We're going to do a glass cutting demo. You see what I have here? Everybody sees my square. This is Ed's square. Actually, if you could read that right there, it says Pops on it. That was my father's nickname. This is actually his square, and it stays in my stained glass room all the time. So again, this is my glass cutter. You can see I'm left-handed. See how shiny that is? That is shiny, shiny, shiny. Almost blind you shiny. Look at that. Anyway, when we're cutting straight lines, we're using our square. Now this is the smallest square that I have. I have 5 other sizes. But we're going to use this, and I want you to hear this. Okay? Just like that. Listen. Ready? Ready? We're going to go one more time. If I was trying to cut this and I was pushing it, what a pain in the neck that is. Pull it, and you can get it done, get it over with, and you're good to go. Now, when you see the glass start to run that way, that's exactly what it's doing. It's called chasing the run. See it? Boom. Boom. And boom. Okay. So I just use my running pliers to lob off all of this. Now these are pulled. Now I'm going to put this back on this pretty piece of lavender paper because it helps you guys see what's going on. Our patterns, you see I just drew little squigglies like little waves. They're just little patterns. But in order to cut these so that we can see the pattern, we're going to push it. And the whole time we're driving and steering. So I want you to see. This is my middle finger goes on my glass cutter. Just like that. My index finger sits right on top of this little jewel right here because it's nice and strong. And then my thumb is on the side, and the cutter itself rests right here in between my index finger and my thumb. So let's try this again. Now, if you get in a hurry like I just did, you can't stay on that line. So here's the deal, guys. Cutting the glass is the most important part. Cutting the glass correctly is even more important than that. The idea is to use your grinder to rough up the edges of the glass and just clean it up a little bit, but not use your grinder to cut your glass for you. So please, learn how to cut your glass. When you're cutting patterns, you want to cut slow and deliberately because you have a line that you're following. That line's not there for you to just Willie McNilly it. Okay. That line's there for a reason. And that reason being, it's your pattern. So y'all, this is Ed with a quick glass demo. Don't be afraid of the textures. Use them because it'll change your work. And definitely practice more rather than less. This is Ed for Glass Chat. Tuning in at the ARTyRV channel. Don't forget to subscribe if this helps you out. We're going to do a small demo every week for you until you get it.
We might do one more before the end of the night. After we talk about a few things in the news here. Ray wanted to know.
Hey, Ray.
Is it not a good thing to score the glass twice at the same on the same score?
It's a bad thing to do it. You'll ruin your cutter and the glass won't break.
Yeah. And that is a mistake that a lot of beginners think that they need to do.
If you think about it, Ray, if you think about it, the word cut, when you're cutting glass, the word cut is the wrong word because you're not cutting anything. You're scoring the glass.
Even though we say it all
Even though we say it all the time. Okay. And it's force of habit. But what? So we're going to do this.
Wait a minute. There you go.
That's okay. I'm just going to set it right here.
Okay.
Okay. So I've scored this glass. I've scored it. I didn't cut it. I didn't cut it at all. I scored it. So what I've done with my glass cutter, Ray, is I've separated the molecules on the surface of the glass. And when I do that, technically, it follows that score. So, yeah, we're not really cutting glass, but I have had people say, well, I tried to cut this and I went over it 3 or 4 times and it still didn't break. Well, if it didn't break the first time you did it, it sure isn't going to break when you go over it 2 or 3 more times. I promise you.
That's right.
It will not ever happen. So anyway, one score, start to finish. That's okay. They can hear it.
Okay.
You can hear it. Ready? Listen. Start to finish. This is window glass. Learn how to cut on window glass and then move on to the expensive stuff.
Yeah. So break that for us. Awesome. Awesome.
This is just window glass. And, if you score it right, look on that edge right there. If you score it right, you don't even have any tool marks on the edge of the glass right there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that question, Ray. That's a good one because
it really is, Ray.
We sometimes forget to tell the beginners not to do that.
Yeah. And you know what? Because we know you're not a novice.
But that's a great question.
That's a great question, Ray. And sometimes, like Barbara said, we kind of overlook
that one thing,
what
mistake did you make? Because I can remember I don't even want to tell you what I did.
Well, Barbara used to work in a frame shop. So,
yeah. And anyway, it's not I don't know what
I'm going to frame her.
What I thought that was. But anyway, lots of mistakes. How do you foil the textured glass? This is from Karen.
Hey, Karen. Well, the textured glass may require you to use a different profile of foil. The other thing is, and I'm just going to hold this up.
You want me to put it in the camera?
Yeah, these textures, we can do that. Okay. A lot of times, so when I'm using this type of glass in lead, I'll have to stand it up on its edge and grind it and grind that face a little bit and eliminate some of those ribs. You can also do the same thing with your grinder so that you don't have to change the profile of your copper foil. The other thing is if you're using clear textured glass, use a black back foil. Don't use a copper back or a silver back because it doesn't look very good.
What?
If you're using a clear textured glass, use a black back foil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard to get it just perfect. So.
And the black will create a shadow and it'll eliminate a lot of problems for you.
Brenda is here.
Hey, Brenda.
And she had the question about the paints. Yeah, we've talked about it, but we don't mind showing you again, Brenda. Would you put that in the camera so she can see the name of the paint?
We're going to put that right there. And let's spell this for you, Brenda. It is REUSCHE, and it is pronounced Rouge. And they are lead. This is a lead-free soft yellow. And you can see its firing temperature is 1150 to 1400 degrees. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're painting, you put your high fired paints on first, and then your low fire paints go on second. Then you don't have to worry about over firing your low fire paints. Your low fire paints are 1050 to 1275. So
I hope that answers your question, and you can purchase that at most all stained glass retailers online. I checked. I didn't find it on Amazon. I didn't have time to find out the best price, but you can do that.
And a lot of them have a really nice set of brushes that you can use. The most expensive you're going to buy is your badger hair brush, which is used for shading. So your shading brush is the most expensive brush that's going to be within your toolbox there, within your painting kit.
Right. Okay, so do we have any more questions coming in? Because we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, and or any news that you might have. Let me see if I got another question.
It's springtime. Anybody have any shows or festivals coming up?
Yeah, any shows coming up? Anybody that's online that teaches, that wants to say hello to the people online. They're always looking for classes, so you're welcome to.
Yeah, if you teach, we have a lot of people that are looking for classes. Some of them will travel. Right now we've got to get caught up on everything we got going on. So we're excited.
Yeah, we have a great year coming up, and we're very excited with everything that's going on. So let me share a little bit about what's going on. I told you the glass glue is back in stock.
Yep, got it back in inventory, Barb.
Yeah, if that's something you want to do, it's there for you. Also, the glass tools will be back in stock. We sold out yesterday, and they're coming back in stock the end of the week. What else? Oh, the newsletter. If you guys want to be part of our newsletter,
and you do, you want to be part of it,
because I mean, we have things going on that you guys won't know about if you don't get the newsletter. So just go to the website, go to conwayglass.com, and go to /ARTyRV. Well, if you go to conwayglass.com, at the top of the page, you'll see ARTyRV Glass Studio. And that's got all the information about us. But when you go there, a pop-up will come up and say, do you want to sign up for the newsletter? And just sign up. And if you've already signed up, you got a newsletter today that told you a little bit about what we have going on.
And, it's not like nobody's going to call you trying to sell you a condominium or anything.
Yeah, we don't sell our newsletter list.
No, because there's thousands of people on it.
So So that's all the news we have for right now.
Well, I guess we could. There's a couple of books that we found within our book box in our library, and I'm going to go ahead. Can I share those with them?
Yeah.
Let me share these two books with y'all, and they are available.
Oh, these are available online? This one isn't.
No, neither one of these, but there's some books similar to them. These books we've had since the 70s. The last publication was in 70.
No, this one was 1975.
This one was
1975, y'all. We're going to share some of these patterns with you. These are made of lead, but we're going to share them with you, and we're going to do them in copper foil. Correct? Eventually. Yeah. So these are kind of cool.
Yeah, these are called. This book is all about lanterns, and they're using standard vase caps. This one's right up your alley, Ray. They're using standard lamp vase caps. Okay. And same way with your terrariums. These are these are lead terrariums, and like Barbara said, you can build them out of copper foil, and they'll last a lot longer. But this is kind of wild. Back in the early '80s, people used to pay us to build terrariums for them.
I used to make terrariums when I was
but the little 20s. This little book of lanterns is really cute. So, and the one thing that it really shows that most people have problems with is the locking mechanism on the door on the terrarium. So anyway,
and it's fun. It's a fun project.
It's a fun project, and then you can get the kids involved and have them put the plants in the terrarium, because only two sides are closed, two sides are open, and it hangs. So that's awesome.
Okay. Mary Haycraft says that she's booking 2 shows a month. So way to go, Mary. Sounds like you've got a whole year is probably going to go great this year.
I hope so. That much. I hope everybody has a great year this year.
Yeah, that's a good sign. People are having events, because last year you didn't know whether they were going to cancel them or not.
So it was last year was pretty tough.
Crappy last year, but we're back in business. Okay. Stitch wants to know, have you guys ever messed with making one of your pieces a glass insulated glass for a window or door? Have you ever?
We have, but typically what we do, Stitch, is let's just say if the insert in the door is 3/4 of an inch, we'll just have a 1/2 inch IG made, or a 7/16 tempered IG made, and then we'll just put the glass in behind it. What happens when you put stained glass inside double pane windows is that gravity, it's just a seal around the edge, and gravity eventually will push the bottom out, separate it from the glass. And now not only do you have the insulated unit seal failure and fogging up, but now it's staining the stained glass with a white milky substance. And you definitely don't want that. So what I try to do is shrink the insulated unit that's in there. The thickness, okay? Shrink the thickness and then put the stained glass behind it. Believe me, most times you're not losing a great significant R value because the areas are so small.
Right. And that if you put that stained glass window in that insulated unit, there is no warranty. The manufacturer will not warranty
the unit
itself with that insulated glass in it, because
and they won't touch the stained glass.
Right, because a lot of times you can't. You have to go to a shop that makes their own IGs. Problem with it also is that stained glass, if you've puttied it, if it's a lead window or any type of window, lead window especially, it's going to contain moisture. And so you've already introduced dust and moisture into an insulated unit that's supposed to be hermetically sealed and absolutely clean.
Because you can't run your stained glass window through the washer that they run the insulated glass through.
Right. So
it's quite a process.
Problems. Yeah. Once that unit fails, that stained glass window is going to become stained.
Sure it will.
It'll start turning white, and there's nothing you can do. So to keep your customers happy, do it Ed's way.
Yeah, just thin the unit down. The thinnest unit you can get made tempered is going to be a 1/2 inch. Thinnest you can get made annealed, which is not tempered, is going to be a 7/16. Either way, it protects the glass because it's inevitable. No matter where you put your stained glass, and no matter where you put your doorbell, somebody's always going to knock on your stained glass.
Stitch said, thank you. That makes sense. And yeah, that was a great question, because many people have made that mistake beginning in their career as they're trying to, keep their customers happy and offer a valuable product. That can become an issue. So thanks for asking that question. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, they're like very adamant about putting it inside the stained glass, but I promise you, you will kick yourself if you do it.
Yeah. I mean, especially for your own home, when you're going to be living there a long time, you don't want to.
Now you can make just a really pretty glass, an obscure glass, and make an insulated unit out of that with no problem. Because I know we We took some mouth blown G&A, the largest sheets that we could buy, and made insulated round windows for Michael Caine's house in Hilton Head. So, and they were that glass was mouth blown, and the gaffers that blew that antique glass for us for that particular job, man, it was awesome, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. Okay, Ray's on the website and he can't find where to sign up. Ray, go out of the website and go in, and when you go in, there should be a pop-up. It'll be a pop-up, and the first one that comes up is to accept the cookies. So if you accept that, well, I mean, we don't do nothing with the cookies. It's just we have to warn you.
I can't even eat cookies. What are you talking about, Barbara?
So anyway, there should be a pop-up that comes, do you want to sign up for our newsletter? And if you don't get it, let me know and I'll send you that. Because it should come up. It should just pop up. Do you want to sign up for the newsletter? Unless you're already signed up, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Are you?
He accepted the cookies, but you didn't get the... Okay. Let me see if it's working on this end. We can check it. You want to check it? No, I'll check it tonight for you.
Yeah, I always go to the Conway Glass website and I tell everybody scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on the newsletter. But it's different now.
That.
Right, it's different.
Okay, we got a question. I'll find out, Ray. I'll find out what's happening there.
Give me a question.
Okay, my 14 by 28 workshop was delivered and hurricane strap. Okay, Mark, you're going to get all that glass in there, right? Now to move the inventory with all the glass. What a job. What a job.
What a job.
Okay, Ray's trying now to sign up. Okay, Ray.
Hey, I tell you a simple way to move some of your sheet glass, Mark, is to take your dolly, put a piece of soft carpet on the bottom, and then run a piece of carpet up the back of the dolly, and then stack it like that, and you can wheel it in. Just take like 10 sheets at a time, because from what I understand, you've got a lot of glass, my friend. Don't overdo it.
Okay, Ray, if you don't get to sign up, I'll know if you sign. I can check it tomorrow, and because all my computers are like tied up right this second. And so I'll check and see and send you a link if you didn't get signed up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ray. Well, at least we don't have an echo.
I thought you were already signed up, but I might be wrong.
We don't have an echo tonight, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good, right? Mark said he'd try that.
Okay, please do. Yeah, because the newsletter, like I said, it's nothing fancy, but it does keep you up to date with different things that are going on. So
I want to give a shout out to all of my family and friends that are watching tonight. Even if you're not signed in, I know you're there, and thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate
all the new viewers we've got this week and new subscribers. Thank you very much. Our channel is growing by leaps and bounds.
It's
and
greatly
we're very
appreciated.
Excited. And it's all because of you guys coming here every week, sharing your thoughts, sharing your questions.
And accepting our apologies.
Yeah, accept our apologies for not doing everything we say we're going to do.
We're trying.
We have a list, a mile long, of videos that have been suggested to us, and we're trying to do that.
But our next video coming up deals with glue chipping, the glue chip that we made outside, and a transom above our front door going into the studio. So
maybe.
Keep an eye out for that.
I don't know if that's going to be the next one or not.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not in charge of editing,
Okay.
nor am I in charge of publishing.
Right. I'm working on 3 different videos. Whatever one gets done first will be the one that comes out next.
That's right, Barb. That's right, Barb.
Oh, gosh. You all keep me busy. That's for sure. Okay. So do we have any more questions that you guys... let me go back. At the bottom, I don't see the sign up. Okay, I'll send you the link. There used to be a sign up at the bottom of the page.
It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. So, yes, I'll send you the link.
Sorry about that, Ray.
You know what I think I might do is put it on the community page, the link to the sign up. But I will send it to you, Ray, and then I'll add that to the community page, and you guys can sign up from there. Might be easier. You're welcome. So we have been online for about 1 hour, and we're still taking questions. So if you have a question, just put
Let
it
us
in the
know.
comments.
And if you don't have a question, I'm going to take this young lady here and get her a bite to eat.
Yeah, see. He's sweet. He's hungry. He's hungry. Okay, what are we having for dinner tonight?
I have no idea, but we're going to get in the car and go.
Yes, we are checking out Rapid Resizer.
Yep. And we're going to be doing our first thing with it probably, well, this week, because we have some paintings and we're going to work on trying to get the patterns for those paintings.
And the transom window.
And the transom window. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yes, we last week talked about the Rapid Resizer. And
we printed out our
the other one?
708.
What's the other one we're looking at?
Glass
Glass
eye. Yeah.
Yeah, we're comparing those two. So if you want to see what we talked about last week, it's on last week's.
Well, last week was busy because I had a meet up with the surgeon for my hip, and then we had, it's crazy.
Don't make any apologies.
What? Except my apologies.
Except his apologies for being a little bit, busy. So, okay. Can I stop mirrors from losing the black coating around the edge?
Well, if it's around the edge and you're making things like boxes, once you cut the mirror, you have to sand the back, and then on that back edge, use a layer of clear fingernail polish. That'll slow the process down.
Sand back?
It won't stop. Yeah, because once you cut it, you disturb the silver, and it like flakes it. Okay, so you take a piece of sandpaper and you sand that back just a little bit so that it's not sharp. And you've feathered the silver, and then you put the edge sealer on it. You can go to your local glass shop, and they make a mirror edge sealant, and it's basically clear fingernail polish.
Oh, okay. Mary said it popped up for her. So Ray, maybe go back and see if it'll pop up for you, because it popped up for Mary. Sometimes, I don't know why, but I'll send it to you. Don't worry about it. It's not that important right now. Thank you, Mary. So
what?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know why on some, maybe you have pop-ups blocked. That might be it. You might have pop-ups blocked. I don't know. Okay, we're going to go, right?
Yeah, we're going to give everybody a big kiss, an
A
air
big
hug.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for tuning in
ARTyRV
tonight.
Q&A. We appreciate it. And
don't forget to subscribe and
ring that bell.
Ring that bell. And a thumbs up, because the thumb is our favorite finger.
Thank you, Ed. Ring that bell again. Okay.
It's like a gas pedal, baby. I got it close. Don't forget to subscribe.
There's one more comment.
Hi, all my grandchildren. I love you guys.
You too, Ray. Thank you, Mary and Julia and everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And Karen.
I hope we helped everybody.
And me, Mike. Everyone, thank you so much. And Christy, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Christy.
Everybody's here. Okay, we got to go. All right. Bye.
Love y'all. Thank you.